Hey guys, welcome to the video. It is Simon the Watch Guy. Today I am bringing you a review of the Braun. Now this particular model is the BN0231. So I'm just going to bring you this in freehand. This is going to be a fairly quick review. I don't have massive amounts to say on the watch, but I do have a few things. Number one, the case does look fairly thick, but I can assure you it's not actually as thick as you might think. The case thickness is just 10 millimeters, but you would be correct in saying it does look bigger than 10 millimeters. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit of a weird case shape. I've left this sticker on the back. It does, as you can see, it says "Made in China." We're going to come straight back to that at the end of the review. Has mineral glass, so apparently it is scratch resistant, fairly scratch resistant. But hey, there you go. The yellow second hand, it does hit all of the markers. So as you can see, that's fantastic. I believe not all of them do, but this particular one does, so I am extremely happy. When it comes to design, let's talk about the designs. We have two real key guys at Braun who actually designed... Oh, now I say this, it's actually missing the markers a little bit. I can kind of live with that, I guess. So, two guys at Braun who basically were the designers, and you can look those up, but the main guy I think I'm going to talk about is Dieter Rams, who oversaw all of the design at Braun. And even now, even though Braun is actually licensed to Xeon Limited, which is a UK-based company, they hold several other companies. They produce these watches under license, but they have to be approved by the German designers before they are allowed to be sold. Now, this particular piece has actually been available for quite some time, and this is, I believe, it's a German design, and it's just cased and, well, basically made, the whole thing's made in China. Even the movement, I believe, is Chinese. Now, before we go back onto the movement, let's just continue around the watch. We've got a leather strap. If I just unfold this ever so slightly, you can see in the top left-hand side, oh, there you go, it says Braun. So it does have a nice signed buckle there, which is really nice to see. I imagine, let me just check. No, there is no signature, but you wouldn't expect that on a minimalist style watch. Now, minimalism, it's something that really has come into its own in the last few years with Netflix programs and people just wanting to live a cleaner, quieter life with less junk, less rubbish. And Junghans manages to achieve these designs. Now, I'm going to make a bold statement. I think this design is more beautiful than anything Junghans have done. I think this is absolutely off the charts in terms of beauty. You've got the Braun logo. Let me lay this flat. You have got the Braun logo. You've just got numbers around the face. You've got the minute and hour markers there. 5-minute markers. It just is, it genuinely is one of the most, I think, when you actually take a second and think about it, it's one of the most beautiful looking quartz watches. It really, really is. I mean, that yellow hand just stands out against the white. It's the epitome of minimalism. I really believe the designers at Braun, who originally designed this face, this is one of the most beautiful watch designs I have ever seen, and it's so effortless. It's the epitome of minimalism. It doesn't have... Dieter Rams believes that a watch should be just a watch. It shouldn't even have a date feature. I read a quote that said, a watch should just be a watch. It should do nothing else. No stopwatches, nothing else. All of those features are nice to have, but at its very core, a watch is for telling the time. You can go and search for the quote he said, but it was that sort of thing. Now, Xeon Limited, if any of you guys are watching this video, I can't stress enough how much I love the watch in terms of design. What I don't love about the watch is the movement. The movement is, quite obviously, it's made in China there. By the way, there's the lip if you want to. I think you could probably replace your own battery if when it comes to it. What I don't love about the watch is one thing: you can hear the seconds ticking. Now, for someone like myself who's had many watches and is a huge fan of watches, when you can hear a watch tick, it's very often a sign that it's poorly made, poorly constructed, or it's using a cheap movement. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had Seikos that are hundreds of pounds that make a very slightly audible tick. If you put the watch right next to your ear, I can fully accept that. But the tick on this thing is actually a little bit loud. And if you look at Swatch watches, they are a criminal for it. I can't believe there are people out there. I've had it on my channel. I've reviewed Swatches, and people defend the tick and say they like it. I cannot see on what planet that somebody can like the noise of a tick. 60 of them a minute. And then you've got 60 minutes in an hour, and then you've got 24 hours in a day. I don't want to hear that many ticks. Now, unfortunately, you can hear the ticks on this. So my kind of suggestion to Braun, or rather to Xeon Limited, is this. You have got, in this watch, one of the most beautiful, one of the most beautiful looking watches, the most clean looking design I think I've ever seen. Yes, I genuinely mean that. To me, this is better than Junghans in terms of looks. It's better than Seikos and Citizens in terms of just pure... I'm judging this on pure minimalism. I'm judging this on what it is. It's a minimalist watch. It's an affordable watch. What I don't like is that they've, in order to keep it cheap and affordable, they have used a slightly cheaper movement. Now, I would genuinely much rather pay double the price if we could put, for example, a Ronda, Swiss Ronda-based movement in here. And I would happily pay, instead of £40, I would pay £80 for this. I really believe Xeon UK, Xeon Limited, if you take my advice for what it's worth, I'm giving you, free advice here. I am telling you, from as a watch collector, I genuinely believe this is a stunning design. It's absolutely gorgeous. What lets it down? It's just the movement. If I was Xeon Limited in the UK, what I would do is I would shove a Ronda in this, Swiss movement. It doesn't even have to be made in Germany, shove a Ronda in it, even if it's cased and made in China, whatever. I don't really care too much. Put a Swiss movement inside this. I'm not even too bothered about jewels, but put a Ronda in this. Make sure those seconds hand hit every single marker, which they nearly do, to be completely fair. They're just a little bit off. Very, I'm being a bit picky. For the most part, on the left-hand side of the watch, they definitely hit every single marker. Throw a sapphire glass on this and offer this, even if you offer it for £100. Offer this for £100 with a sapphire and a Ronda, and you have got a absolutely phenomenal watch that's going to sell like hotcakes. Because there's no one, I'm sorry, I know it's personal opinion, but there's nobody who can tell me this isn't a beautiful design. I really love this thing. I can't tell you how much I love the watch. It's just stunning. I could just look at this all day long. But that's where the watch sort of fails for me. It doesn't have a sapphire, which I can sort of live with. That really isn't the end of the world. That's something I would like to have. But something this needs, something this has to have. For Braun's legacy, this has to have a better movement. It needs a Ronda. It needs something. It needs a Swiss movement. Again, I'm not bothered too much about jewels because, it's not essential, especially at this level. But that's, I think, the difference between a £40 watch and a £100 masterpiece at this price level. Now, I know that Braun probably will, or Zeon will say, no, we want to offer it at this price. The problem, I think, with that is, yes, you are giving people a very, very fair price. I don't believe for 1 second Braun or Zeon are trying to rip you off. I don't believe that for 1 second. Because what they offer for the price is actually very good. It is very good. You can't complain. But to take this to the next level, I mean to really catapult this into the, watches that, people just talk about on YouTube, and to get rave reviews on this thing, it needs a better movement. It's such a shame. I don't know what to do with it, really. Do I sell this? Do I keep it? If I sell it, I'm going to miss the design. I won't miss the tick noise. And the other reason you can tell this is a slightly cheap movement is when you pull out the crown and turn it, it just flies around. The movement flies around. It's such a shame because this... And I do have the Junghans right here. Here's the Junghans. I'm just going to show you the two. Now, you can get this Braun with just lines on it without the numbers. Slightly more expensive. When you look at the two of them, if I'm 100% honest with you all, it's the Braun on the left. I'm talking about the design, not the build quality, just the pure design. The design of that Braun speaks to me a lot more. The yellow hand against the dark black hands, and then the white face and the black numerals on the white face. It just jumps out the watch. It's. I mean, both are legible, both are minimalistic. The Junghans is great in its own way, and the Braun is great in its own way. But in order for these two to really compete, and I know they're not competitive, this is the thing. I feel a bit awkward saying this, but I feel as if the Braun could be a much tougher bit of competition. I mean, both of these, Braun and Junghans, both are originally German brands. I don't care if it's made in China too much. I mean, I know this one's made in Germany. I don't really care about that. I just care about the quality of the movement. I mean, the Junghans uses an ETA. Put an ETA in here. Put an ETA, a Ronda, something like that. If the movement was upgraded in this, we are looking at, I believe, you could double the price. If they were greedy, you could probably try and triple. If it had a sapphire, maybe triple the price. And I think that's where the watch needs to go. That's where Zeon need to go. If they do, I will be right back and I will buy another one of these because I just love the way it looks. So Zeon, I really do pray that you are listening to this review. This isn't even a review. This is really advice for even if nobody else watches this apart from one person at Zeon. If you can do this, if you can upgrade the movement, maybe as well, maybe put on a sapphire, you've got a winning formula because the design, it's second to none. I'm sorry, guys, I've talked about the design for about 15 minutes, but it really is. It just speaks to me. It's just absolutely Bauhaus to the nth degree. This is minimalism. This is, and this is the time. There's actually a second movie about minimalism just come out on Netflix. Braun should absolutely, or Zeon should be capitalizing and really pushing, the minimalist themes. Come out, their marketing department really, but their marketing department needs the designers and needs the company to really put better quality movements in. Braun, that's what Braun was all about, offering super high quality at reasonable prices for consumers and customers. So that's my advice. Ultimately, if it had a sapphire and it had a better movement, I would be saying to every single one of my subscribers, buy one of these immediately. At the moment, all I can really say is It's beautiful, buy it if you like it. There is a bit of a tick, which is an annoyance to me. You know, for me, this is a design icon, but just missing that final touch. So there it is. I'll just show you it one more time. In fact, I'm just going to put this on wrist. Bear with me 1 second. And I'll show you how this looks on my wrist. So here we go. I've got a 7.25 inch wrist, and that is how it looks. Let me just zoom out slightly. It's not too bad, not too thick, I don't think. Fairly reasonable. Really, really, really legible. 42mm. Doesn't wear like it. Doesn't look like it. Oh, what can I say? I just love the design. I need to think about what to do with this one, guys. I really need to think, because this is beautiful. Such a beautiful watch. But I think Braun just need to up their game in terms of the actual quality of the movement, and then they are onto an absolute winner. A real winner with this design. Let me know what you think in the comments. Interested to see what people make of this one. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.